this question. Okay, so this is kind of a knowledge-based question, right? So if you have a good knowledge about how the reactions work, then only you can answer this. Okay, so I'll say this is a moderate question. Next one, in a given graph of zero order reaction, the slope and intercept. So he's already given the zero order reaction and all. So it's a straightforward question. Basically, if you know what is the exact equation of zero order reaction integrated rate law, you can easily answer this question. This type of question we have discussed in our classes and we have given in our mocks also. So this is a very easy for questions. This is an easy question for our students. It will be definitely. Right. So this is basically knowledge-based question. I'll say this is moderate question because everyone may not face this type of question, right? So there will be confusion with first order reaction also. So in that point of view, I'll say this is a moderate question from chemical kinetics. Okay. So let's move to the next one. So this is another question from alcohols, phenols, and ethers, which is a knowledge-based question. So you can see the different type of reagents are given, different type of reactions are given. So basically, you need to have a good knowledge of reactions here. Then only you can answer this type of question. So I'll say that this is a moderate question from alcohols, phenols, and ethers. So next one is general electronic configuration of D block elements is asked. It's a very straightforward question. So I'll say a very easy question and a memory-based question from transition elements. So if you compare overall in the MCQ point of view, organic chemistry is dominated here. So most of the questions came from organic, especially if you see 3 questions already we have seen from aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acids, and alcohols, phenols. Just now we have seen, and chemical kinetics. You can see 2 questions. Amines, 1 question was there, right? Haloalkanes, haloarenes was there. Biomolecules was there. So overall, if you see, most of the questions were dominated by organic chemistry, and I'll say overall it is a easy question from the student's point of view. Now, if you see the assertion and reason question from the 13, so first one is a question from alcohols, phenols, ethers. Again, organic chemistry is dominating here. So this is a moderate question, okay, knowledge-based question, because if you know the concept-wise, then only you can answer this type of questions, right? So this is a moderate question. Okay, so next one, if you see, again, this is aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acid. 4th question from the aldehydes, ketones chapter. You can see up to now we have seen 4 aldehydes, ketones questions, 2 alcohols, phenols, ethers questions, 1 haloalkane, haloarenes question. So organic chemistry is quite dominated in the MCQ part, right? And the next one is biomolecules, which is a moderate question, right? So if you know what is reducing sugar and all, then only you can answer this. So I'll say this is a moderate question. Okay. Next one is electrochemistry. It's basically how Daniel cell work, how the electrons flow and all. Okay, so it's a concept-wise question. So if you have a good knowledge about how electrochemical cell works, then only you can answer this question. So that is why I can say this is a moderate question. Okay, not all students can answer this. Okay, so I'll say that is why it is a moderate question. So that is our first section. As you can see, organic chemistry dominated quite here. And overall, you can see moderate questions are there in assertion and reason. And overall in MCQ, I'll say easy questions are there. But overall, the MCQ part is from easy to moderate only. None of the hard questions are there in the first section. So students should get almost 10 to 15 easily from this particular section. Okay, so let's move to the next one. So next one is section B, 2 marks questions. So first question is from chemical kinetics. He's asking the order of reaction, activation energy. Directly, he's asking the definitions. These things we have discussed a lot in our regular classes and all. So this should be easy for our students. Okay, so because all the questions are directly from the questions that we have discussed in the DPP and PPTs that are there. Okay, so again, this is a memory-based question from chemical kinetics and an easy question. Next one is a question from a solutions chapter, and it is given from the depression and freezing point formula. So he's given the weight, he's given the molar weight, we know, and he's given the temperature at which it freezes. So from there you can find out delta TF, and from there you can find out the molecular weight. So this is how the question is done. It's a very easy question. If you know the formula, you can directly do this question. Okay, so I'll say this is a easy question. Okay, next one. Which compound in the given pair would undergo SN2 reaction at a faster rate and why? So this is also a knowledge-based question. In haloalkanes, haloarenes, we have discussed this type of questions. And next one is given the order of boiling points. This also we know. As the mass increases, boiling point increases. So if you know that much knowledge, you can easily do this question. So I'll say a moderate question because not everybody able to do this type of questions. But yeah, it's a moderate question from haloalkanes, haloarenes. Okay, so this is, I think, second question from haloalkanes, haloarenes, right? Next one again, aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acid. Fifth question from the aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acids. Okay, it's a knowledge-based question because he's asking the mechanism for the nucleophilic addition reaction, and also he's asking, or you can also you have to write conversion of toluene to benzoic acid. You need to know the reagent. What is the reagent to convert toluene to benzoic acid? KMnO4H plus acidic KMnO4, right? This type of reagents you have to know. 3-ethanol to 3-hydroxybutanol, how to convert. So this type of conversions should be, I mean, it should be a kind of a moderate kind of a questions because not everybody able to answer this type of questions. Okay, not every student can answer. So I'll say this is a moderate question. But you can see fifth question from the aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acid. So you can understand why we used to emphasize on aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acid. Not only this particular exam, board exam, this aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acids is an important chapter for every exams. Okay, so you have to understand the importance of it. If you see the next one, that's a biomolecules question. Again, it's a knowledge-based question, but you have to remember the structures of thymine, uracil, and water thymine and uracil, and what happens when glucose react with bromine water. So you need to have a proper knowledge about all these reactions. So I'll say this is a moderate question because not everybody can able to do this, right? So I'll say this is a moderate question. So, but again, this is an organic question. It's given. So I think overall the domination is from organic chemistry because as we can see that as the syllabus was deleted, so most of the chapters are heavily fall on organic chemistry. So that's why organic chemistry is quite dominated in this paper. Okay, so let's move to the next one. So next one is coordination compounds question. First one, geometrical isomers of the given complex is given. It's a quite easy question, but the second question is, I think, not everyone able to do this type of question because most of the people don't understand what is pairing energy P and delta naught. So if they understand that, they can easily say P is greater than delta naught means it's a weak ligand. So if you know it is a weak ligand, so you can easily write that is basically for the outer orbital complexes and all. If we know that concept, everybody able to do, but if they don't know, so it will be hard for them. So that's why I have considered this as a hard question. Not many questions are hard. I think this is the only hard question I have assigned, but apart from this, all of the questions are very straightforward from the NCERT. So next one is a direct question from what is meant by unit ended ligand. Give an example. That is also direct question, right? So it's a comparatively hard question compared to other questions. So it is a comparatively hard question from coordination compounds. So if you see the paper, most of the questions have given from the knowledge base. So that's why we always focus on the knowledge part rather than the question doing part. So we always give the concepts. That is why. So you need to be thorough with concepts. That is the reason. So you can see most of the knowledge-based questions only coming from the exam point of view. You need to understand that here and there are memory-based and formula-based questions, but knowledge-based questions comparatively dominating overall the paper. I'll say 80% of the paper is made of knowledge-based questions. Okay, so that's a big number, right? So you have to have a proper knowledge in the paper. So next one is a formula-based question from electrochemistry. Directly, you have to sum the EMF of electrodes. So you will get the EMF of the cell. So that's a direct question from the formula base. That's why I have given. It's an easy question. Okay, so if you see the next one, it's a direct question from the alcohols, phenols, ethers, and it is there directly the reactions name is given. So I think you have to write the reaction. So I'll say this is an easy question since the names are given. You have to write the reactions, right? So I'll say easy question. But this is a knowledge based question only, because if you have a proper knowledge about all these reactions, then only you can write these questions. Okay, so that's about alcohols, phenols, ethers. I think this is fourth question from alcohols, phenols, ether. Okay, so how much importance organic is playing in this particular paper, you can see. Next, sixth question from the aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acids. So I think too many questions from the aldehydes, ketones, and carboxylic acids is given. It's not expected from me also. So many questions are given from aldehydes, ketones, carboxylic acids. It's a knowledge-based question because he's asking to distinguish between phenol and benzoic acid. So benzoic acid is more acidic than phenol. So you need to add a sodium bicarbonate. So that kind of a thing is may not strike to everyone at that point of time. So that's why I'll say this is a kind of a moderate question. Propanol to propanone is easy. Propanol to propanone is you'll just do alcohol, and you will convert to alcohol, you will convert to alkene, then you will convert to secondary alcohol, then you will oxidize. So that part is kind of comparatively easy compared to the first one. Next, acidic is very easy one. So that is that part is very easy, but overall I'll say that question is moderate question. Okay. So if you see the next question, it is a very easy question from biomolecules. It's a memory-based question because it's asking what are essential amino acids, what is a peptide bond, what is denaturation. All these are directly from the NCERT. So I'll say this is a memory-based question. So this is a very kind of an easy question. But if you observe again, biomolecules is kind of this kind of third or fourth question from biomolecules. So that many questions from molecules is not expected anytime since the syllabus is deleted and only organic is playing heavy role. That's why so many questions you can see from the organic chemistry, right? Yeah, see the next one again, haloalkanes, haloarenes, another organic question. Third question, I think, from the haloalkanes, haloarenes. This I'll say moderate question because first one is IUPACN, you can give it easily. But second and third part, you need to have a proper knowledge about the what is electron withdrawing groups and what are the electron donating groups, right? So what is the reaction happens when alcoholic OH is added? So if you know that proper knowledge, then only you can do that question. Okay, so that's why I have given this question as moderate question, right? So next one is chemical kinetics. Chemical kinetics also so many questions have come. Generally, we consider electrochemistry is more important than chemical kinetics, but this time chemical kinetics kind of dominated electrochemistry. Already three questions from the chemical kinetics is have given. So if you see the question, it's a pretty straightforward question. Show that the time required for 99.9% completion of a first order reaction is 10 times the half-life time of a reaction. This is exactly question which is given in NCERT, right? So this is a direct question from NCERT. It's a very, very easy question from NCERT. So everyone must have done this. Okay, so I will consider this as an easy question. Okay, so let's move to the next one. So next one is a case study questions in the section D. So if you see this particular question is from the coordination chemistry, and I think this overall is consider this particular para is about valency bond theory and nature of bonding and all. So if you see valency bond theory, the questions also given accordingly. So that's why I say this is a moderate question because valency bond theory is very huge topic in coordination chemistry. So if you study valency bond theory well, then you can answer all these questions. So diamagnetic, paramagnetic, we can say based on the number of unpaired electrons, right? So that is a kind of a easy thing. Next one is what is the coordination number? That is a very, very easy question. By looking at the complex, you can say easily. IUPAC naming of the complex is slightly difficult, but it's, I mean, it must have, for this complex, you might have given easily. This is diamino, dichlorido, platinum, platinum 2, platinum 4, right? So it's an easy question. Next one is either whether it is inner orbit or outer orbital complexes, that is kind of a difficult, because here the exception is there. NH3 acts as a strong ligand there, right? So that kind of exception is there. So that is maybe a difficult question for some of you. But if you remember, ammonia is a strong ligand for cobalt, then it will be easy. Next one is the deduce the shape and hybridization of NiNH362 plus. That is again easy one comparatively. Okay, so even if you don't know the above one, you can know the you can write the below one as a choice. So overall, I'll say this is a moderate question, right? And how you have to answer is, I hope you understood that. Coordination compounds also is given around the two questions, but whatever the two questions is given, he is given very solid, concrete, knowledge-based questions, right? So kind of a hard and moderate questions only given from coordination chemistry. Electrochemistry, another question came here from the case study questions. So, but overall, it is given about the galvanic cell and all, and he's asking what is the function of salt bridge in galvanic cell. It is directly there in the NCERT, so you must have written. When does galvanic cell behave like an electrolytic cell? This we have done in our class, in our session, so you must know. So if the outer circuit electricity is greater than, voltage is greater than the voltage of the electrolytic cell, then it will become like an electrolytic cell. So that is how you have to understand. And next one are direct questions from the E naught finding. This, if you know the E naught value overall, if it is a positive value, then we can know the process is spontaneous. We can write like that. And this is from the first law of Faraday, first law of Faraday of electrolysis, right? So that is these are the direct questions from the electrochemistry. I'll say this is a moderate question because it will take time to understand the question and all. So I'll say this is a moderate question, right? So next one is transition elements. This is, I think, section E, 5 marks question. So this question is from transition elements. Transition elements also is given three questions. So that kind of inorganic chemistry part, he mainly focused in the transition elements and coordination chemistry, right? You can see the questions from there. Directly, they have given the statements and all. Why zinc is not regarded as a transition element. So some trivial type of questions are lanthanide contraction. Why is the first ionization enthalpy of chromium is lower than zinc? So all these questions, we know the one-line statement. So they are all given in a single question. So it's kind of a easy question because he's giving the internal choice of also here out of 7 here you have to write 5 only, right? So overall I'll say this is a moderate question from the transition elements. Okay, so the next one, it is given from the solutions chapter. Is asking what is reverse osmosis. It's a definition from the osmosis. So if you have a small little bit knowledge about what is osmosis, you can write down what is reverse osmosis, right? So if you increase the osmotic pressure by external method, so the flow of solvent move from the high concentrated solution to low concentrated solution. That is called as reverse osmosis, right? So that's what about that question. Why are aquatic species are more comfortable in cold water in comparison to warm water? Because of the solubility, Henry's law, right? So that's a question from Henry's law basically. Next question is a solution of 2 grams of glucose in 100 grams of vapor. What if the vapor pressure of pure water is given? What would be the vapor pressure of the solution? That's relative lowering of vapor pressure question. Directly, you know the formula, you can directly do the question. Okay, so that's a formula based question. Next one is given in the choice. Predict whether Van't factor will be less or greater when ethanoic acid is dissolved in benzene. So this kind of a difficult than the first one. So I'll say this is the second part is moderate because the ethanoic acid, what happens is it becomes dimerization in benzene. So if you know that, then only you can do. Otherwise, you will write I will be greater than 1 if you consider that as a dissociation. Here, association will happen. So if you know that, that's an easy question. Otherwise, it will be a difficult question for everyone. So that's why I'll say that is a moderate one. Next one is ideal solution. That is easy because we know on the solution which follow Raoult's law is ideal solution. We know that one, right? So that I'll say easy question. And next one is calculate the mass of CaCl2 to be dissolved in 500 ml of So that is a depression and freezing point of question that directly given the similar question in the same paper also from the freezing point. So I'll say that is a easy question if you know the formula. Right. So let's see the next question. Next question is from amines. Okay. So what is given is, so I think this is third question or fourth question from amines. So amines not much given. In organic chemistry, aldehydes, ketones, alcohols, phenols, ethers, haloalkanes also mainly focused. I think this is second or third question from amines. An amide A with molecular formula C7H7ON undergoes Hoffman bromide degradation to give amine B. So that must tell you A is amide. And obviously he's mentioned that, sorry. So he's mentioned that, so you can easily write what is C7H7ON. I think this is a benzamide. And after that, he's saying, so whatever the B on treatment with nitrous acid, it forms C. So that is benzene diazonium salt. C on treatment with chloroform, ethanolic potassium hydroxide forms D. And C on treatment with ethanol gives E. So this type of data is given to write the chemical equation. So that's a moderate question because you have to understand what is given there. So you have to write properly. Okay, so that's why I'll say it's kind of a moderate question. Okay. So next one is what is Hinsberg reagent? That's an easy one. Hinsberg reagent. Arrange the following compounds in the increasing order of their basic strength in the gaseous phase. That is also slightly twisted there because gaseous phase is different from the aqueous phase, because in gaseous phase there is no steric factor and all, and there is no hydration energy factor and all happens. So directly we can say tertiary amines are more basic than secondary than primary. So only that difference, if you know, that question is easy. Otherwise it will be difficult. Okay. So I'll say that is an easy question. Next one is give reasons for the following. Methylamine is more basic than aniline, and aniline reacts with the bromine water to give 2,4. All these are direct questions from the NCERT, and we also have discussed this type of questions. Primary amines have higher boiling points than tertiary amines. So that also we have discussed. All these questions we have discussed directly. So that is why I will say this is overall a moderate question from amines. So in conclusion, if you see the paper, overall the paper, I'll say it is a moderate paper, or I'll say easy to moderate paper. MCQ part was pretty easy. Only the part of 5 marks question is he have created a little bit higher than moderate, but overall I think if the proper knowledge is there, I'll say the moderate questions are I'll say these are moderate questions. We have discussed all these questions in our classes, in our regular classes, and in our DPPs, in our revision classes we have discussed, and in our mocks we have given this type of similar type of questions. Okay, so overall I think the students might have felt easy, and I have talked with some students also. They said the paper is easy for them. So overall I think I'll say this is an easy to moderate paper. I think everyone must have done good. Okay, so let us see what are the things we are doing and we have done the similar questions how we have done in our classes, regular classes and DPPs and all. So let me show you some DPPs and some PPT questions that we have done in our regular class. So look at this question. First one is if you see this one, if you see this question, this type of question directly is based on the delta T of freezing point, depression freezing point. Similar type of question we have seen in the paper just now, right? So that's what I'm saying. So we have done almost similar type of questions we have done in the classes and DPPs. And if you see Henry's law, we have mentioned solubility, application of Henry's law already in the paper, where he asked why aquatic animals are more preferable in cold water than hot water. It is based on the Henry's law, right? So we have discussed similar type of questions here, and this one is based on the relative lowering of vapor pressure. Here he is asked the molar mass, and there he is asked the molar. There he asked the vapor pressure of the solution. That's the only difference, and the remaining things we have done directly. And you can see he's asked the Van Hoff factor. Here we have done similar type of question, right? So osmotic pressure we have done. So from there we can know what is reverse osmosis and all. So like this DPVs contain similar type of questions of which are given in our paper today. And also, if you see the some of the questions from the regular classes and revision series where we have given, so you can see this is a E0 cell finding question that I have discussed in our revision series. Direct question, similar type of question. I won't say direct question. Similar type of question came in the exam also. This is Kohlrasha based question. So similar type of question in the paper you can see in the MCQ part, right? So this also we have done in our class, revision class. The lanthanide contraction we have discussed here. So the lanthanide contractions questions we have got in the question paper, right? So whatever the important questions we have already discussed in our classes, basically, right? So if you follow our classes properly, if you would have followed our classes and if you follow our classes, most of the I'll say confidently 90% to 95% of the questions you can answer with confident because we have discussed all the type of questions here. You see the delta not P, delta not greater than P, delta not less than P. I marked it as hard question in the uh, coordination compounds in the paper. That was the only hard question I have marked it. But that question, that type of questions also we have discussed in our classes basically in our revision series, right? So what happens if delta greater than is greater than P, delta not less than P? That also we have discussed in our classes. So, right? So that's what I said. If you understand, if you follow our classes, if you have already done this, that hard question would be easy for you. Okay. I hope you understood that. Okay. And this one SN1 reaction is will be fastest in the case of similar type of question is given with the structures. That's it. In the here we have given IUPAC names. There he has given the structures. That's it. We say SN1 reactions are more preferable for tertiary. So that's what he's given. So tertiary alkyl halide you have to find. So here from the IUPAC name we have to find, and there here from the direct structures you have to find. If you would have done this question, that question would have been easy for you. I have written moderate there, but if you would have done this question, then that will be moderate for you. Okay, so that is about our revision series. This is, you can see, direct question. This is a direct question. Cannizzaro reaction. I think second or third reaction in our MCQ that I have shown. So this is a direct question from Cannizzaro. So direct HCHO is given, direct formulas, methanol and sodium format, direct question. This is from the Cannizzaro reaction. So if you would have attended this class and if you would have watched this video, you might have done this question very easily. Okay, so that is about our revision series. Next, if you see the mocks, our questions from the mocks, they also kind of got the direct question. Like you can see the order of the reaction we have given, define order of the chemical reaction. Similar question, directly they asked the definition for the order of the reaction in our in the paper today, right? And second order reaction we may not have got then, but it will definitely come in the next years and all. So that's the thing. So we discuss all type of questions here. So this question is direct again. The for a zero order reaction, R2T is given. So here he is asking what is the order of the reaction. So this is zero order reaction. So in the question paper, it came opposite. Okay, they asked indirectly. They have given the zero order reaction and they have asked for the slope and all. So if you know this question, if you would have done this easily. So that's what he's also asked here. What is the slope of the curve? So that's what I'm saying. So if you would have attended these classes or if you attend these classes, so things will be easy for you. Okay. So next in the electrochemistry also we have discussed similar type of question, conductivity and first law of electrolysis, second law of electrolysis, similar type of questions we have done here. Okay, so in the mocks they have given similar type of questions. So everything we have done here and we have provided the solutions for the mocks also, for these mocks also. We have explained each question thoroughly and we have given the conceptual wise explanation for them. Okay, you can watch our videos there in our YouTube channels also. Okay, so we have done similar type of question revision many times. Okay. And this is as you can see, the transition elements also we have done properly. How D block elements exhibit more oxygen states and all, and why zirconium and osmium have almost similar radii. That's because of the lanthanide contraction. We have explained that conversion of potassium dichromate by adding sodium hydroxide to LO. So all these questions we have done in our mocks and all. Right. So I think I'll end the session here. So I have shown you what the paper, how the paper work and all, how the paper was and how we work and all. Right. So I hope you understood and I hope you enjoyed this session. Okay, guys. Thank you.